So I had a quick second to stop between appointments. Back out here on the island today. Absolutely gorgeous day in Florida. 75 degrees. Middle of December, beginning of December. Great day to be outside. The appointment that I left this morning, I've been doing a lot of work with this client for the last 2 or 3 weeks. We've been out here quite a bit. It's been a lot of fun. We're talking about what the future holds and big plans and moving pretty big transactions around. But one of the things that came up today gave me the opportunity to share with them some other experience I've had in this area of scarcity. And they're looking at some of the seasonality of their business, and the owner shared with me a business that he'd been to on vacation where they shut it's like a large hotel in the middle of the Mojave Desert, and they shut it down during the really hot months because nobody comes anyway. We just got into this conversation about seasonality, and I thought it'd be a good topic for today's video because seasonality is one of those things that plays into scarcity. And here in Southwest Florida, we deal with seasonality a lot because tourism is a pretty big industry. We have people come down at 2 different times of the year. We should have 2 big tourist seasons. And a lot of businesses here will actually shut down when it's not tourist season, and they cut their overhead cost. They cut their overhead cost a little bit. Some of that's sunk cost, but the big thing they save on is labor. And they also don't have obsolescence or waste like in restaurants and things like that. So I shared with them 2 scenarios that I have personal experience with. One was a chain of 4 restaurants that went from year-round operation to seasonal operation. And when they did that, they found that in the months that they stayed open, and comparing those months to the same months in the prior year, their sales actually went up 20%. And after they talked to their customers about it for a while and tried to get their arms around why that might be happening, they had a theory that I think probably is pretty accurate, and it is that customers before would think, oh, we can go here, we can go there, and now they're thinking, well, we could go here, but this other place is only open part of the year, and we don't know when we're going to think to go there again, so let's just go ahead and go there because the next time we want to go, maybe they'll be closed. And they think that that accounted for a lot of the rise in their seasonal business, the 20% year over year. What was interesting about that business is their profitability went up about 200% because they were cutting a lot of that labor cost and a lot of the waste out of the months when they really weren't making any money at all. And then they got the sales bump from the extra 20% month over month. The other situation had to do with a medical practice, and it was a husband and wife team. They were growing to the point where they needed to onboard another doctor, but they didn't feel like they had enough time to do the training and keep running the business. And so we said, well, why don't you try this? Why don't you just tell people for the next 2 months that you're not taking any new patients, and that'll give you the time to train the new doctor. But we don't want to lose the prospects who are calling us during that time. So what they started doing was somebody would call and ask if they're taking new patients. They'd say, we're not. We expect that the window will open up sometime within the next quarter. If you give us your name and email address, we'll be happy to put you on the waiting list. And they collected those, and when the window opened, they sent out that email blast to about 300 people, and they immediately booked all of the new patients they could handle to get the new doctor to capacity. So in that instant, and then they closed the window again. It worked so well, they closed the window again. They didn't worry about adding any new patients for the next 2 months. They opened the window again, and they onboarded 200 or 300 more new patients. And that system of onboarding, they got it so effective that that's how they continue to run the business. And we stopped working with them a few years ago when we sold the tax and accounting practice, but I think they're probably still doing the same thing today. So 2 very interesting situations where scarcity can actually help your business. And I think this is one of those things that goes into the psychology of selling, and recognizing not just what your customers are buying from you, but how your customers think about buying from you. And there is an element in most businesses, I believe, unless you're selling commodities, I think that in most businesses, there's a great place for building scarcity into your business model, because you need to think about how not only what your customer is buying from you, but how they think about what they're buying from you. And sometimes a little scarcity is that thing that will encourage them to go ahead and take the step that they may put off. So that's today, and got a few more minutes to sit out here and enjoy the beach. See you guys tomorrow.